Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I am going to play with a little bit of a different stamp set today. Well, it's not a different stamp set, a different style. This is not something I've done before. I've been teasing you about mail art for a little while and today is the day. So this is the first time I tried it. I don't believe that my envelopes are the right type, so hopefully if you haven't done mail art before, we're going to learn together. And we'll see what happens. But, you know, so be nice. You're always nice. But, yeah, just know that. So I've got a Darkroom Door stamp here. It's called Lots of Love. I've got an envelope from my stash. As I said, I don't think it is the right ones, but we'll make do. I didn't think the hole in the middle was going to be much of a problem, but then afterwards I went and realized it's like, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So we're using 2 full stick post-it notes here, and I'm just going to trim those out. I'm going to trim them a little bit inside the dark line. This is a uniquely creative set called Dreams Are For Chasing. It has a whole heap of little dogs and a couple, you can see there I've got a little bird. Yes, I am going to mask him out because I'm crazy, but you know, we do these things because we love it, don't we? And afterwards or during it, we sort of go, you are nuts, but that's all right. So we're just going to stamp out a mask. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black. Yes, I remembered the right ink pad this time, if you remember. Okay, spoiler alert. I'm going to do a video and you haven't seen it yet, and I've used the wrong ink, but that's in a couple of weeks. So we've got Mowed Lawn and we've got Salty Ocean. I've masked out the bottom with just a little bit of painter's tape, and we're going to put a little bit, which is also going to hold my envelope down, so I always worry about end up with ink on the back of my envelopes and things like that, but that's going to hold it down until I can figure out a better way to do it. There you go. So I'm just using a blending brush here to put a little bit of color on my envelope. I am also starting off with the Lots of Love, lots of labels on the mask, you know what I mean, on the mask, and then working upwards because I'm working with Distress ink, so sometimes you can get that harsh line, but I'm not worried about it too much. This is a Paper Rose stencil. It is called Cloud Stencil, and we're just going to put a little bit of texture. Now removing that, trying not to remove my envelope too much, and we're going to raise that up just a little bit to try to put our bottom. Well, I'm going to play with it a little bit. There we go. I only did it twice, but I had to I only adjusted the paint to tape twice, but because I lost a little bit of footage, I had to go and find it again. It looks like I've done it 3 times, but you know, doesn't matter. So coming in with Mowed Lawn, I'm just trying to put a little bit of a soft layer of that. Remove all our masking. I did pretty good with the whole masking. There's only really a couple of spots with the blue and 1 or 2 little spots. I had a tiny spot in between the dog's tummy and his legs, but I didn't remove the mask on that. I didn't cut it out, so we're going to fix that. I've got a piece of just cheap cardstock here just to put into the back because I thought, I don't know how it's going to come through because it's not the right cardstock. It's not a decent envelope, I don't think, but it actually does. Spoiled it. It actually does quite well. So I'm using, for my little bird, was YR24, Y26 and Y21, and I'm not worrying too much about putting a lot of layers of color down because, as I said, the envelope is not that great, so I didn't know how it was going to work, but that's all right. It all works out well in the end, actually. So for my little puppy, it's sort of a combination actually between, for the two dogs. So this little dude, he's got E74, E57, E35 and 34. We're just trying to give him a little bit, just making sure my cardstock is in the right spot. Underneath his body is going to have a little bit of shadows where his leg is sort of, because he's bounding along, some of his legs going to have a little bit of colour. I'm trying not to put too much colour on his face because I might lose, because it's quite dark, I might lose some of my features in his little face. I just think he's so cute. I've put him down low, and the other little dog, I've put him up a little bit higher so they don't look like they're about to run into each other. Just going through here. So I'm going to use BG01 for any holes in my sky, which actually works in really, really well with Salty Ocean. It's only a light colour. And for the grass holes, it's G12. The nose, well, both of their nose are going to be a combination of R22 and R20. Did I say his nose? No, his mouth and his tongues are R22 and R20. Their noses are going to be C9, C7 and C5. Just for a little bit of, and the other little dog is tiny. You could make do with nothing. Well, not nothing, but one colour. But the bounding dog, he's got a bigger nose, and I'm crazy, so that's what I do. I think with the collars, I just generally sort of do one colour. I didn't play around with him. We're actually going to do like the card and the envelope. We're going to do a matching card. It's going to be a really, really simple card, so quick and easy. I do have one regret over the card, and not that it's bad, but I think it would have looked a lot better. But we'll talk about that when we get up to the card. So that's all good. So with my other little dog here, we've got E35. So we use that for the other one. E34, again, that's the two lighter colour. This time we're going to go down to an E31. I'm using the mode Lawn again and doing some sort of secondhand stamping and all that sort of stuff. For a little bit of texture in the grass. I'm also going to go over that with some green. So we've got YG67, YG63, and we're going down to a YG03. So we're just putting a little bit of just fun. Now the dog that's sitting down, his shadow underneath him is right underneath him, but the dog that's sort of bounding along, I've dropped his shadow down a little bit so it gives an impression that he's up in the air. You can see with my card base there, it was only a tiny bit that actually bled through, but that would have gone through to the other side of the envelope, and I didn't know how that was whether it was really going to come through or not. But if I played around with a little bit of like a heavier colouring, then that would have gone through, and I wouldn't have liked that at all. So another stamp from this set, and it's a dog. He's so cute. The sentiment is called "I'm itching to see you," and he's sitting there having a good old itch. So it's going to be the same colours that I'm going to be using. So all my greens and some YG 67, 63 and 03. My dog is going to be the same colours. This is the one that's got the collar, so I'm going to be using one of the colours for the bird. It's just a straight colour, and I'm going to be using C5 for his collar, just one straight colour, and that's it, all there is to it. Same colours with his mouth are R22 and R20. That's his little collar, his little token thing on his collar for his registration. And the same with the bottom of his feet. So it's the same color. So it's the E79, what was it, 57, 35 and 34. And I'm just going to do similar sort of shading. It's a little bit hard because you're just like, you know, he's sitting there having a good itch. So you got to try and figure out what's going to be sitting on what. And he is a relatively small little dude. So you don't really need to fluff it around too much. The last things that I'm going to do basically is put a little bit of, not stickles, these tiny little sequins. Now I did get them from Little Bits in Keysborough in Melbourne. They're not really an online shop. Well, they're not an online shop, but they're really, really tiny. So just use anything from your stash. I just thought it was cute because he's sitting there having a scratch. So, you know, something might be flying. That's what I thought. So that's going to be pretty much my card. I'm going to use some Paper Rose papers. Now, this is my regret. I had this summer party paper and I thought that would be really, really pretty. And I like it. It's a simple card. It's just straightforward, really, really simple. But what I would have liked to have done is, in hindsight, has done a card that had some blue paper behind it rather than the orangey color. That's my regret, but it still works. It's still fine. But you know, I just would have liked to have done it. I'm using some Paper Rose nesting rectangles. Here's a summer party. I did look at a grey, and that probably would have done better with matching my card, but you know, I went with the orange, so I stand by my decision. So it's all good with the world. So we're just going to trim that out, just figuring out which one I want. It's a really, really pretty paper. So it's called Summer Party by Paper Rose. So it's really nice. So we're going to glue that flat, and then I'm going to raise it up on some foam tape and put it down, and that's going to be it. So if you haven't already subscribed and liked to my channel, please do so. That would be an awesome honor. Hit the little like button, and that's probably the greatest compliment you can give me. I scratched my card panel with the black tip, so I might need to find myself a lighter color tip to that. So we're just putting some sequins down, and we're going to put these on with multi-matte medium. So I'll leave all the links down below. I hope you are well. I hope you take care, and as I said, like and subscribe. That would be really, really great. And I don't know, let me know what you think. Should I do some more? I just, as I said, it'd be a learn while we go together. For those who haven't done mail art, there's plenty of people that do mail art and do beautiful jobs. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, leave me a comment down below. So that's my envelope and my little card. As I said, it's fine, but I would have probably liked to have done a blue matte on that. That's it. Take care. See you next time. Bye.